Hello, welcome to your YouTube weather channel. My name is Mr. G. This is Elite Weather, and we're going to have your weather forecast for this upcoming weekend. And we're going to be talking about a storm that's going to produce some severe weather down along the Gulf Coast and in the deep south, and that is going to be headed over toward the mid-Atlantic states at the end of the weekend and into next week. So let's take a look at that storm and all of that activity as we take a look at our satellite a map for this evening. Here is that storm down there along the Gulf Coast and into East Texas, and it's going to be spreading those showers and thunderstorms out across that region, and that's going to be heading along the Gulf Coast, and eventually that storm is going to turn toward the northeast and head toward the mid-Atlantic states. So you're going to be dealing with that guy. We do have a few showers here in the mid-Atlantic states off of that sea breeze there, and we have a storm here in the Pacific Northwest that's going to be spreading some rain showers and some snow showers in the Cascades and the Northern Rockies. Beautiful weather out there across the Southwest and the nation's midsection as well. Now, here we are with our surface map and that radar, and here is that storm down here across the deep south and into the southern plains. You got those storms in Oklahoma and northern Texas right now, and that's going to be headed towards Mississippi and Louisiana and Arkansas tomorrow. So you're really going to see an increasing threat of some of that severe weather and water spouts down along the immediate Gulf Coast. So New Orleans and Gulfport, Mississippi could be dealing with some of those water spout potential tomorrow evening. So that is a look at our current surface map right now. And here we are as we look at those current temperatures, and we're seeing a very nice evening out there as far as temperatures are concerned. And down here along the Gulf Coast, we're seeing those 70s and very low 80s, and we're seeing those 80s down there in Florida as well. That is the nation's warm spot. And if you go up the East Coast, we're seeing those temperatures fall into the 50s and 40s way up in the Northeast there in the New England states. Those temperatures are in the 40s, and we're seeing those temperatures in the 50s in the Great Lakes. But however, in the northern plains in Minnesota and the Dakotas, we're starting to see those 60s come into play as temperatures will begin to warm across the central and northern plains. So much of the Midwest and the Great Lakes and into the Northeast as well are going to be seeing a pretty substantial warm up out ahead of the next potential weather system that's going to be coming from the Gulf. So this storm system that's coming up out of the Gulf, from the Gulf states and out of Texas, it's going to be moving into the mid-Atlantic states, and that's going to be spreading a lot of warm air out ahead of it. But we're not going to really see a big cold weather outbreak with this storm system as it has a warm origin. So we're not really expecting any cold weather outbreaks to happen this week, as this week predominantly, especially for the eastern half of the nation, it's going to be pretty warm by all things considered there. And here we are with you. Take a look at our current snowfall cover, and most of the snow on the ground right now is going to be through the central and northern Rockies, and a little bit of snow out there across the Cascades. Not seeing any snow in the Sierra Nevadas right now, but we do see about 10 to 15 up to 20 inches of snow here across portions of Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming out there. Even got a little snow in Idaho and Montana. We've been seeing some snow over that region from this very same storm. It's actually dropped down out of this region and dropped down into Texas, and it's currently right now across the southern plains. But it has a very warm fetch right now off of the Gulf of Mexico, and we saw a lot of that cold air get bled out of this system. So a pretty warm storm we're working with right now as it moves across the Gulf Coast and heading towards the mid-Atlantic states as we head into next week. Here we are as we take a look at our thunderstorm forecast for this evening, and we're seeing those thunderstorms down there across southern and central Texas and even into northern Texas. And right here in north central Texas, we can see thunderstorms likely and the potential for some severe weather in that region. And we're going to be seeing the possibility of an isolated tornado there. But we'll be looking for some hail and damaging winds there through central Texas tonight. And tomorrow, here is our forecast for this evening, our surface analysis, and here is that storm down there across the southern plains and the Gulf Coast there, and we were seeing that heavy rain in this region with that potential for some flooding as well. Much needed rainfall down here as the Mississippi River is in some very historic low levels right now. Some of the river boats are able to run and the barges are able to run because the river is so low and it's about 60% below average in some areas, but on average it's about 30% below its normal capacity right now. So some big trouble down there across the lower Mississippi Delta and the river. Some of the contributory rivers are below average as well, even though we're seeing quite a bit of rainfall, but we're not seeing any substantial rainfall up here in Minnesota and the central plains where the Mississippi River originates, and we're not seeing much in the way of rainfall across that region. So the northern, central, and northern tier of the Mississippi River Valley has been very dry. So we're going to be dealing with that downfall of that down across the southern end there across the Mississippi River Delta. So that's where we are tonight with that storm. And then we have another storm system here in the Pacific Northwest. Now this main action is going to be going into Canada, so we're not going to see a lot of this activity move across the Rockies just yet. It's going to be mostly confined to the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and Washington. We're going to be seeing a little bit of snow across the Cascades as well as the bulk of that energy goes into British Columbia. So here we are as we're going to be seeing tomorrow. All right, our storm system moves across and into the deep south here. We're going to be seeing this area of low pressure. We have our cold front there, and it's going to be spreading those thunderstorms here through Mississippi, Alabama, as well as through portions of Kentucky and Tennessee. So Memphis, Nashville, Mobile, Alabama here, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans. You guys are going to be looking for that potential for some severe weather tomorrow. We have a slight risk right here along the central and the Gulf Coast region, and that potential exists for some water spouts right there along the immediate Gulf Coast, and we could be seeing those guys come on shore as weak tornadoes. So this area will be dealing with some thunderstorms tomorrow, and our primary threat is going to be gusty winds and some hail, but don't forget those isolated tornadoes. Now, on your Monday, our storm then lifts into the mid-Atlantic states. We're going to start to see it affect Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, and South Carolina, and start to penetrate into Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So New York City, DC, Charlotte, you guys are all going to start to see these thunderstorms move in, but we're not going to see any severe weather as this moves into the mid-Atlantic states on your day Monday, but we will start to see quite a bit of rainfall, a lot of thunderstorms there through the central Appalachian mountain range. So again, here we are as we look at tonight's forecast, and those temperatures tonight are going to be in the 40s here across the Great Lakes and the northern plains under mostly sunny or mostly clear skies tonight. Nice moonlit skies out there as well as in the northeast. We're going to be seeing nice clear to partly cloudy skies across the southeast. Maybe a shower along the immediate coast tonight from that sea breeze, but we do have that storm there across the southern plains and into the deep south here. So Dallas can see those showers and the thunderstorm tonight, as well as Houston and New Orleans. But pretty warm evening out there along the Gulf Coast. New Orleans is going to see an overnight low tonight of 70 degrees, but you will see it fall into the 50s here in Houston, 59 for your overnight low. But very nice weather across the Great Lakes and the northern plains of Minnesota. Minneapolis is going to be in the 40s tonight, and we're going to see those 40s through the northern plains and high plains over toward the Rockies, where we'll see those 30s there near Boise, Idaho, and Billings, Montana. You see those mid-30s there across the northern Rockies and the central Rockies there through Utah and Colorado. So Salt Lake City going to see that overnight low just slightly above freezing at 35 degrees. Beautiful weather tonight across Southern California. 53 in LA, 55 in Phoenix. So a nice dry evening for most of you out there, with the exception of here across the Southern Plains and the Deep South down there near Louisiana and Arkansas tonight. Now for your day on Saturday, we're going to be looking at very nice day across much of America. We do have that severe weather possibility down there across the south. So New Orleans, where that temperature is going to be 76 with that severe weather and those thunderstorms, and those thunderstorms in Memphis as well. We're going to be in that region, and we're going to see some more thunderstorms across the Dallas area, but much cooler with temperatures in the lower 60s. And we're going to be looking at nice weather across the northeast as things are going to start to warm up there. We see those upper 50s in New England, but we're seeing those 60s across the mid-Atlantic states and down the southeastern coast, those mid-60s. But those 70s and 80s down there in South Florida, beautiful weather out in the Pacific Northwest, temperatures in the upper 50s in the Seattle area, but we're seeing those highs out there in the 40s and 50s across the Rockies, and beautiful temperatures in the 70s to lower 80s down there in the southwestern deserts and the southwest coast. And as we look in your day on Sunday, that beautiful weather will continue out west, 80 in LA, 82 in Phoenix, 61 up the coast in San Francisco, and those temperatures in the 50s in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle will see a high of 56 with a chance of rain for your area. We'll also see some rain showers across the portions of the mid-south and the deep south. We're going to see Memphis with some rain showers and a high of 67. Rain showers again for you folks down there in New Orleans with a high of 74. But Atlanta gets in on some of that rain too with the temperature of 61 degrees. And we're also going to see a temperature of 60 for you folks over there in Charlotte with that chance of rain in your forecast. So definitely some rain showers for the mid-south and portions of the mid-Atlantic and the southern Appalachian Mountain Range. Rain showers also possible down there in South Florida and Miami. You can pick up a thunderstorm off that sea breeze, and beautiful weather in the northeast with temperatures in the 60s for the most part, and 60s here in the Great Lakes and the Northern Plains. And on Monday, to wrap things up for you guys, we're going to be seeing more beautiful weather continue, and that rain shower, that storm system heading to the mid-Atlantic there. So we're going to be seeing that rain there at 66 degrees for you folks over there in Charlotte. In Louisville, I'm sorry, that's Louisville right there with 66, 69 in Charlotte with a chance of rain showers, and rain showers in Washington with a temperature of 66. Partly cloudy skies in New York with your high of 64. Mostly cloudy there in Boston with a high of 64 as well. 61 with a chance of rain in Buffalo and Detroit as well. 62 for your high. 64 in Minneapolis with a beautiful day on tap as it's going to start to warm up into the 70s across the Midwest, especially as you get into midweek next week. And look at that, Dallas at 71 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And we're looking at that beautiful weather in the southwest where Phoenix is 83, 80 in LA for your day on Monday, and 60 for San Francisco, and a beautiful day with a much needed rainfall over there in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle with a high of 54 degrees. So that is a look at your weekend weather forecast and a sneak peek at your Monday. My name is Mr. G. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I've been seeing a slight uptick in my views on YouTube lately. The algorithm is starting to shine a little bit of a light on my channel, so we've grown up to 235 subscribers, and I appreciate that. And let's get more of your friends or other people to follow the channel and subscribe. Leave your likes and comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these weather forecasts and would you like me to do daily weather forecasts on YouTube again. It's kind of hard to do with my school schedule right now, and I also work a full-time job, so it's a little bit harder to do. But I try to get at least a forecast in on here 3 days a week. But we do have a TikTok channel where we do have a forecast every single day of the week. So go on over there and check that out. The link is in the description and in my channel bio, so if you want to check out my TikTok channel as well. So again, thanks for watching, and be mindful for that severe weather along the Gulf Coast tomorrow and through portions of the south of Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. We'll be watching for that severe weather. Mr. G here, signing out. Thanks, guys. See you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.